watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Right now, city crews are on alert preparing for this second storm. They've been cleaning storm drains and sweeping streets, and you can report flooding, down trees through the city's Get It Done app. City also reminds you never drive through those flood waters and protect your property. They'll have sandbags available at 11 city rec centers. The bags will be provided, but you may have to buy the sand. Thank you so much for starting off your morning with us. The time right now is 6 a.m. I'm Netta Iranpour.
And I'm Vanessa Paz. Let's go ahead and toss it over to meteorologist Evan Irani with a look at your forecast as you kind of get ready for your last day of 2025 and of course kind of get in the mindset of New Year's Eve.
It seems like the last day of 2025, the first day of 2026 are both going to be rather wet ones.
It's a cleanse. We can look at it that way.
Exactly, right? Yeah. And apparently that cleanse is going to take us all the way through at least the first week of January.
A week-long cleanse.
Yeah, we've got these daily opportunities for rain as repeated storms kind of stack up across the Pacific. Let's talk about where we're at right now. You can see that green starting to pop up. This is on satellite radar. So what we're seeing as it stands right now, going into the afternoon and evening hours, we do expect some intensification, meaning that we will get more moderate to heavy bands coming through, but not necessarily today. Today, things will become a little bit more widespread, but I'd say they'll stay on the lighter side, only about 1/4 of an inch in the forecast versus what we have in the forecast tomorrow, which will intensify. Some moderate, maybe even severe showers coming through, chance of thunderstorms. Conditions outside right now are not all that wet. We've got cloudy skies, 52 in Julian, but take a look at how warm it is in downtown San Diego, 68 degrees. Yesterday, we made it into the 70s, about 75 degrees in downtown. That took us to about 10 degrees warmer than average of temperature. Like I said, about 1/4 of an inch expected over the course of the day today, and then we'll pick up on an additional full inch or so going into tomorrow, Thursday, especially through that morning stretch. Temperatures sliding back down to the mid-60s and kicking off a daily opportunity for rain that'll take us all the way through at least the 7th of January, but likely even beyond it. More details as we walk you through that hour-by-hour forecast. We'll talk about midnight specifically coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Evan. With the new year comes new laws. Tomorrow, several new state laws are set to take effect.
Some of those new laws will affect our daily lives here in San Diego. CBS 8's Regina Yurita live in studio to explain these changes that Californians can expect to see. Hi, Regina.
Hi, good morning, guys. Yeah, well, 3 major new California laws take effect tomorrow, January 1st. The changes will affect shoppers, law enforcement, and efforts to combat human trafficking statewide. Now, first, plastic carryout bags will soon disappear from store checkout counters. Under Senate Bill 1053, grocery stores, pharmacies, and retailers will no longer be allowed to offer any plastic bags. That includes bags labeled reusable or made with thicker plastic. Instead, stores must provide paper bags made with at least 50% recycled material. Lawmakers say the change is needed after studies found plastic bag waste actually increased following California's bag ban. Supporters say the law targets plastic pollution at its source, but business groups warn it could raise costs for stores and customers. Another new law targets human trafficking and illegal prostitution. Assembly Bill 379 makes it a misdemeanor again to loiter with the intent to purchase sex. The law also creates felony penalties for adults who solicit sex from 16 or 17-year-olds. That applies when the adult is at least 3 years older. State and local leaders say the law shifts accountability to buyers and traffickers while treating exploited individuals as victims. And finally, a new law limits when law enforcement officers can wear face coverings while on duty. Senate Bill 627 generally prohibits masks during routine operations. There are some exceptions that include SWAT teams, undercover assignments, and hazardous weather. By July, agencies must also post written policies outlining when masks are allowed. Supporters say the law builds transparency and trust, while critics, including federal law officials, argue it could put officers at risk. The law is already facing legal challenges. The San Diego Sheriff's Department also says they already have policies in place in compliance with SB 627. Now, all 3 laws take effect statewide beginning tomorrow, marking a major policy shift as California heads into the new year. Guys?
Thank you so much, Regina. The city of San Diego's minimum wage will increase starting tomorrow. It will now be $17.75 an hour. That's higher than the state's minimum wage, which will increase to $16.90 an hour tomorrow. However, the minimum wage is $20 an hour for fast food workers in the state.
And now to an update. This morning, a 62-year-old man is under arrest, accused of murdering his wife in Bay Park. Police say Stephen Coates rammed his truck into his home on Monday morning and then set a fire inside. His wife, Monica Coates, was found dead in the bathroom. She had severe burns. Stephen was also found in the bathroom with burns, but he survived. Police say Monica had a temporary restraining order against her husband at the time. Anyone with information asked to call San Diego police. This morning, the San Diego Humane Society is caring for 40 dogs found in this apartment in La Mesa. Look at those faces, so many dogs all together. This all started as a welfare check after a tenant facing eviction had not been seen since December 23rd. Authorities still don't know where the owner is. A humane law enforcement investigation is now underway.
Our officers entered the apartment. A lot of the dogs hid because they're under-socialized. We do know that some of the females are pregnant, so the final number of dogs could be much higher. We're just not sure at this point.
Yeah, they were so scared. The dogs are now receiving a medical exam, vaccinations, and microchips before they get placed in kennels. They'll be up for adoption if they are deemed, healthy to be able to. With shelters that are stretched thin right now, the Humane Society is urging the community to step up by adopting if you can.
All right, well, if you're heading out to celebrate New Year's Eve tonight, expect to see a lot of California Highway Patrol units out on the roads. CHP is ramping up DUI enforcement statewide starting at 6 p.m. through tomorrow. They'll be looking for drunk and drug-impaired drivers. Last New Year's, officers made nearly 500 DUI arrests and investigated 10 deadly crashes across the state. And there is no excuse for not having a safe ride to and from New Year's celebrations. Free rides will be available today to keep you from drinking and driving. Starting at 6 p.m., all MTS trolley lines and buses, as well as the coaster, will offer complimentary service. There will also be additional late-night trips to help riders get home safe.
This morning, the city of San Diego reminding people about a number of holiday closures. All city libraries will be closed today. They will reopen on Friday. City rec centers and swimming pools will also be closed today and tomorrow. And curbside trash, recyclables, and organic waste will not be collected on New Year's Day. Collection will then be delayed one day following the holiday. Parking meters and street parking time restrictions within city limits will not be enforced. That's for New Year's Day. One of the anticipated events for both new car buyers and people who are just into cars rolling back into America's finest city.
Yeah, the San Diego International Auto Show kicks off tomorrow. And CBS 8's Chris Groh live at the San Diego Convention Center with a preview of what we can expect to see this year. And you got some shiny rides right there behind you, Chris.
Yeah, for sure. You'll take a look over my shoulder right now. You'll see the Honda Pilot and then, of course, some of the other Honda Prelude. I remember this car from not too long ago. This has been, especially for some Honda fans, maybe one that they've wanted to see come back here. But want to bring in Joe Rotinsky here, spokesperson with the San Diego Auto Show, just to talk a little bit more about everything that folks, when they come out to the San Diego International Auto Show, can expect. These vehicles, necessarily, they'll be show, but there will be some indoor test driving that people can be passenger to, if you will, right?
Yes, absolutely. That's one of the values of coming to an auto show is experiencing, not just looking, feeling, smelling, touching, all of those senses, which is important too, and letting your kids climb all over the inside of the vehicle, fingerprints and everything else. But getting in a car and either being driven, in the case of the EV track that you see behind us, we have Cadillac and Ford vehicles that'll operate the entire time of the auto show, electric vehicles. So you can ride in one of those vehicles, and then you can go outside, and in front of the convention center, you can get into one of the Stellantis, Toyota, or VinFast vehicles, and you can actually drive those vehicles, which, you know what, that's what you want to do anyhow. If you're going to, if you're considering purchasing a new vehicle, you want to do that. You want to feel it, you want to drive it. You've got a product specialist sitting in the passenger seat who will explain all the features to you as you're driving, but that's how you really get to learn about a vehicle is driving it.
I would say that one of the big themes of the auto show, at least from the conversations that I had with yourself and Mark, is that this is really an opportunity to learn. you don't have to feel pressure to make a purchase. This is an opportunity to come out and learn what's going to be on the market, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many changes in the vehicles these days, and you're seeing two of hundreds that will be here in just the next few hours. They're going to roll in here shortly, beyond the two Honda vehicles. But to get an opportunity to talk to a product specialist about the changing technology, these things are changing so rapidly. We used to say, you need bring your 12-year-old to explain all the, the infotainment and the digital this and the digital that, because that's what's happening. But it's not just infotainment, it's safety equipment, it's how vehicles react to other vehicles, building to building navigation, all of that. It keeps advancing rapidly. It's just mind-blowing.
And then real quick, where can folks go online to go ahead and purchase tickets before they come out here?
Yeah, sdautoshow.com, sdautoshow.com. That's the only place you can buy tickets is online, because we don't have the ticket takers here, or the ticket sellers. So please go there and print it off, or put it on your phone and just show your phone as you come in.
Okay, perfect. Joe, thank you so much. And again, we are going to be out here all morning long previewing exactly what it is that you can enjoy when you come out here starting tomorrow when the doors open. Back to you guys in studio.
How do they make them so shiny? I guess just looking at my car, it's, embarrassing.
Here I am in my 2011 RAV4. I'm what are those 2026 cars looking like? Curious.
Newer cars are overrated.
Well, honestly, I still literally plug in my phone to the USB-C to play music on it, and I like it that way. Just, it's reliable. You don't have to rely on the Bluetooth.
Who needs Bluetooth?
It's 6:11 right now. We are watching for rain to return to the forecast, especially into that afternoon stretch. You can see how between about noon and 2 p.m., that chance jumps from 40 to 60%. Should have kind of a widespread bout coming across the county going into that afternoon stretch. And then we start to see things dry out closer to 6, 7, 8, even 9 p.m. After 9 p.m., things light up again, so we could see more activity on the horizon. Our rain chances day to day all the way through the middle of next week stay elevated. So the best opportunity for us to be dry out there is going to be mainly from late Thursday into Friday, and then that chance climbs steadily through Sunday. Let's time out the next 24 hours for you. You can see what we're talking about in terms of things starting to pop up here closer to the noon hour. Between now and noon, we shouldn't have a ton of activity on hand, but by noon, that's when things really pick up, and from there, it only intensifies. 2 p.m. covering almost the entirety of San Diego County. And then here's that break closer to 7, 8, 9 p.m. After 8 p.m., though, let's push through midnight, and there you go. You've got more scattered showers starting to come back onshore. This isn't that bad of a picture, I'd say, for the midnight hour. I mean, with a lot of people out and about, this barely covers even, I'd say, 20% of the county, if that. So there's a very good opportunity there for things to be rather light going into midnight and slightly beyond it. I hesitate to say too far beyond it because by 7 a.m. early tomorrow morning, New Year's Day, we've got more moderate to heavy bands coming on shore. Right now, it looks like in that stretch going into tomorrow morning, we'll pick up on about an additional ½ an inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch. So some extra rain in the forecast, maybe even a full inch of rain possible over the course of our Thursday itself. But Wednesday, only a ¼ inch throughout the entirety of the day. So that's good news if you are going to be out and about today. Temperatures in the 60s, cooling down from where they were yesterday. Those Santa Anas are done for, and we're looking at widespread 60s all the way through the middle of next week. Traffic so far has been really light. There have been no crashes or collisions to mention. It is green across the screen. The biggest thing is that we are starting to see some wet roads. So those pockets of green on there are spots where we already have some scattered showers that are enough to wet the roads. Be prepared. Drive a little slower, practice defensive driving. When we take you to Escondido, about ½ hour ago, we were checking in on a crash. That's now been cleared. That's great news. Here's a live look at the southbound 15 at Poway Road. Volume picking up here at the 6 o'clock hour. We expect the 7 and 8 o'clock hour to still be busy out there, especially as we look toward the South Bay going into downtown. Yesterday, we saw that congestion build, so just be aware for some additional drivers to be on the roads over the next couple hours. Checking in on border wait times, it is not bad at all at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. Only a 35-minute wait. That is faster than we've seen on most of the days the last couple weeks. Otay Mesa Port of Entry is going to take you a bit longer. It's about a 90-minute wait to get across there.